Amigos, Raúl Aguirre, Barrio Stories, La Voz desde Tucson, with so much of heritage and culture, entrepreneurship, politics, and so much more through the Latino USA television, Chicano Hollywood. And we'd like to thank Gil Bivens and Roman Reyes, our producers, doing so many great stories as well out of Tucson, Arizona. And today we have a great guest, a young man that has been going through so much in his journey, all the way from Barrio Libre, where I grew up. We'd like to welcome with us Bill de la Rosa. Bill, what can I tell you? Welcome, congratulations of so much leadership that you put out there for our young people, and I mean it. You know, he grew up in Barrio Libre, South Tucson. Yep. I was talking to Dan Ekstrom, who you know, he's one of your great cheerleaders, and I know he's going to love this program. Bienvenido. Cuéntanos un poquito. Tell us about that journey. You know, coming up, not just academically, but in terms of the leadership that you provided and the example for so many young people.
Pues gracias, amigo. Es un placer. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. You know, I grew up in Barrio Libre. I went to Mission View Elementary, luego Wakefield, in Pueblo.
Oh, you're a PhD too.
I have a PhD and a real. No way. Entonces,
both of them.
Yeah.
Pueblo High School diploma.
Así es. And, you know, growing up, I me juntaba con los plebes, right, with my friends, and I didn't really take school seriously, to be quite honest. I knew school was important. You know, I'm a son of two hardworking Mexican immigrants. They instilled in me the work ethic. Sabía que, you know, education would be our ticket out of poverty, pero I didn't take it very seriously, la verdad. Entonces, you know, I didn't do so well in school, but it wasn't until I was a sophomore at Pueblo High School on October 13th, 2009, when my mother was separated from my family. She was effectively deported from the United States, and she was banned from re-entering the country for 10 years. And for me, it's as if someone had taken me by the shoulders and shook me and said, Bill, like, what are you doing?
What a turmoil, right? You were only 15 years old.
I was 15, and the thing is, you know, at that moment I had realized that my mom and my parents, both of them, had sacrificed so much. My mom came undocumented to the country, to the US. She risked so much to do that. And my father, you know, he was old and frail, and I knew without my mom's side that he was going to suffer a lot. And I said, well, how could I best pay it forward? How could I best tell them that their sacrifices were not in vain? And I started focusing on school, and I went hard on school. I mean, I had to remove myself from other extracurriculars because I had to look after my father. I had two younger siblings to look after. Bobby was 4 when my mom was separated. Naomi was 9. And I looked after them, looked after my father, and I had to focus on school. And I wanted to be the best student, because that's what I thought my parents deserved for everything they did.
And I imagine the impact in your economic life. I mean, emotionally, you got a 4-year-old, you have, you know, and I know your siblings, and you've all done so well, which is, and I mean, it gives me chills, literally. Me dan escalofríos pensar de que tan difícil esa situación, yet you guys were able to put it together, and then your mom had to do so much. Tell us a little bit about that part of this huge journey that is ending on January 20th, 2024, and all that is going to encompass, right, after you've gone through so much.
Yeah. You know, we're really talking about a ripple effect here, right? My mom is separated from us. All of a sudden, our household income takes a blow. You know, we're now on food stamps, right? Because we don't have money to buy food, right? We're struggling to pay rent, right? We don't have enough money to buy a Thanksgiving meal. And so it had a collective effort, a collective effect, and a ripple effect, a trickle-down effect. It started affecting all of us. But, you know, my siblings and I, we all came together, and kudos to my little sister Naomi, to my brother Jim, and my little brother Bobby, because they all played an essential role in helping our family stay together and stay strong. Kudos to my mom for everything she's went through. I can't imagine. I don't even have kids. Well, I consider Naomi and Bobby, two of my
Sure,
kids.
you have to take care of them.
Because I raised them. Pero, I can't imagine what it's like being separated from your 4-year-old, and being told you can't.
No se puede.
You can't go back.
No, you're not going to do it. Yeah.
And conversely, what it's like to be a 4-year-old and not be able to understand why is it that mommy's not with you? Why is mommy across a wall, a border wall? And why do you need to travel, 60, 70, 80 miles to go see her? And why she can't come back with you? That happened to all of us, right? And so it's been a journey. And as you said, this nightmare, this American nightmare.
It truly is.
An American nightmare comes to an end, and it comes to an end enveloped in a series of emotions, different emotions, happiness and gratefulness, and we're excited for what can happen. But we can't forget that there's so much trauma that it's built off of, right? Notably, there are now 5 members in our household, right? Our father died in 2018. He's no longer with us. My mom is coming back to a very different place that she left. A place that she didn't leave, a place that she was told she couldn't come back to.
Yeah, she was removed.
She was removed.
Went to Juarez. She had an appointment. She had every inclination that she was going to be allowed, right, to stay. And then they told her, no, you missed whatever paperwork and you're out. And that you guys didn't see her until a long time. And she wasn't in Nogales, Sonora, which is our border with Arizona. She was way over there in El Paso.
Yeah. A story that is all too commonplace in our country's immigration system. People cannot fix their legal status because by doing so, they get barred, they get separated from 3 to 10 years and more, right? This is not just an outlier, right? We're not just atypical. We're in fact typical of many of the same families who are struggling with the same issues.
And I, for one, I'm very grateful that you speak up on behalf of all those thousands, maybe more than 1 million or more people that are going through this situation that is painful, that destroys family. Tell us, because of your journey, what do you tell, politicians, Washington, about this broken immigration system that insists on being punitive and non-humanitarian?
The message is simple. It's where is our heart? Where is our compassion? And where are our values? We're better than this. We're better. As a country, we are better. We don't separate families, right? And we especially don't separate them when there is no purpose to do so, right? Why do we have the policies that we have at the moment, right? And at what, for what reason, right? And it just doesn't make sense as I'm talking about them. It doesn't make sense because we were split for 14 years. To what ends? You
can never recover that.
The means, never justify such ends, right? Such wretched ends, and in this case.
Especially because they've made so many other, what would you call, allowed other groups and other people to come in. And you're right, there's no pathway, there's no clear pathway. Everybody says, well, get in line and, go and do it right and do it legal, but it's not that easy.
It's a facade. It's a complete facade because it may exist on paper, but in real life, it does not exist. People are not going to be waiting away from their children, or away from their spouses, away from their homes for more than 10 years. It's just not, we can't ask that of people.
Yeah, you can. You can. Now, the community in Tucson, Arizona really came behind you. I know that you've been very positive about the contributions of Congressman Raul Grijalva, who helped bring your mom to Tucson to be part or help to be part of your dad's funeral arrangements and be with you for 30 days with your siblings. So that's part of, I think, those shouldn't have to be the exceptions, right?
And that's a really good point you're making, because just think about this for a second. Our family, right, it shouldn't be the exception. And despite the resources that our family has had, right, support of a congressman, a United States congressman, the community, local leaders. I am in law school at the moment. My sister is educated. My little brother is now in university. My older brother, a United States Marines. And despite all these resources, look how much we've struggled to get my mom back to the United States. Now think about the number of families who don't have those resources. Exactly. What do they go through, right? In the summer of 2018, that is a great example, because my father he suffered his second stroke. The doctors only gave him a few weeks to live. And I tried to get my mom what they call a temporary humanitarian parole, and she was denied. And so we asked the congressman for his support and local elected leaders, and we galvanized the community, and we were able to get the government to have a change of heart. And my mom was able to come back for 30 days, and she was able to be there with my father during those precious last moments and during his funeral. The point is that we had resources, we had support. There are many families in our position that don't have that, who get told no every single day.
And to your point, if there was a pathway, un camino que ya está especialmente humanitario, que les ayuda, que les protege, que no te manden a un lugar y te saquen de ahí, entonces podrían lograr eso. So people, the millions or so that are going through this anguish shouldn't have to go through that. And I think I really appreciate that you always not just talk about your journey, but also say, but this is the journey of so many of our people, and I think that's important. I'm going to wrap it up just really quick. This is a great barrio stories. We're talking to Bill de la Rosa, and I was talking at the beginning how exemplary you've been. Having grown in South Tucson myself, I know of the difficulties. Decías, andamos con la plebe, and it's true. But you've gone to Oxford. Yeah. You graduated from Bowdoin, and then you went to Oxford, and now you're in Yale Law School. That's very, very special. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, thank you. It's also been another journey. I received a bachelor's from Bowdoin and graduated in 2016. I was a valedictorian of Pueblo High School. I got a full scholarship, a Gates Millennium Scholarship to study at Bowdoin, and then I got a prestigious fellowship to work for the federal government in DC, called the Truman Albright Fellowship. I then received a Marshall Scholarship, which is funded by the United Kingdom. They select 50 Americans to go study at any university in the United Kingdom, and I gratefully studied for 2 master's degrees at the University of Oxford.
And you were the captain of the football team?
And I was,
tell us a little bit about that.
I played varsity basketball.
Oh, basketball.
And American football.
Oh, okay.
But I ended up becoming president of the Oxford Basketball Club.
Oh, there you go.
Which is another story for another day.
Yeah, we'll do that one. That would be the chisme from the barrio.
Well, what's funny is that, here's this plebe, he's running around at NHS, HNS, Project Yes.
The House of Naval Service, which was across from my house.
I stopped with.
Where I grew up,
playing street ball aquí en las calles de Barrio Libre to then play basketball at the University of Oxford,
Great.
I donned for Pueblo High School, number 44. And when I was a freshman. And then what happened to my mom, she was separated from my family. I had to walk away from basketball. I had to walk away from my jersey. Come my time at Oxford, guess who's rocking 44?
They gave you 44. You asked
44.
for it.
That's right.
They gave it to you. Great.
That's right.
Awesome.
44. Entonces, yeah, you know, and I currently have a PhD on the way from the University of Oxford. And as you said, I'm right now studying for my Juris Doctorate at Yale Law School. And it's a real privilege, and it's an opportunity that comes with great responsibility, and I hope to put it to good use and give back and pay it forward to everyone who's helped, not just me, but my family along the way.
That was so awesome. Bill de la Rosa, I know January 2024, all those things that you just told us, I know you're going to share with your mom, and you're going to want to take her and visit Washington, and maybe you take her to England. I don't know, but...
Yeah, can you see that?
Woo.
We're having high tea on...
That'll be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Little crumpets.
I know.
Have to do this. That would be awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I mean, you know, I really appreciate you.
I appreciate you
so much for all you do in terms of this personal account and personal advocacy of to change immigration laws, you know, and to be present for so many people across the nation. Thank you.
Gracias, amigo.
Bill de la Rosa, nuestro invitado el día de hoy, a wonderful young man. You heard his story at Barrio Libre. This is Raúl Aguirre, la voz de Tucson en Barrio Stories. No se les olvide verlo en Latino USA Television en Chicano Hollywood. Pásenla muy bien.